Alright. Here we go. Well, here we are on this lovely Tuesday afternoon where I'm just going to do a bit of a painting. I'm going to take it easy. It's slow down a bit and give you the full experience of creating something hopefully pretty cool. It could all go to shit. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll see how we go. It's based off of an old painting of mine, but I can't find my original reference, but it was a church in France that I was in. I took a photo and this light was just nice, and I don't know. And I've just embellished things by adding in figures and stuff like that. Stuff that's typically churchy kind of flavour. Now it's sort of somewhat ironic. Anyone who knows me personally knows that I'm probably the least religious person, or not the least, but I don't care either way. I'm not militant about it, but I'm not a religious person. But something I've always loved is religious imagery, like the architecture of the churches and the spookiness of it all. So I really like it. I'm just going to throw some paint on, a nice kind of an underneath wash, if you like. I might go quite warm with the underneath wash and go nice and cool with the stuff over the top. So dirty water is fine. Yeah, good. Bit of dirty water, splash it on, who cares? I don't care about wetting the whole picture down or anything like that at this point. Colour-wise, I don't care. Just warm. Think in terms of warm and cool. Just your colour temperatures, really. That's the way I approach it anyway. But this is just going to be an informed demonstration. I'm not going to bore you with every single bit of detail that I'm doing. In fact, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. You develop an instinct and you paint instinctively. And how do you develop that instinct? Practice. Shocking, I know. It's a boring answer, but it's the right answer. Yeah, let's have a look. It's just warmth. I don't know what colour this is. You can see on the corner of the palette there, it's just rubbish from the palette. I don't know what it is. I don't care what it is. It's just warm to me. Just warmth. Spatter it on. Paint with expression. There we go. And we can put some other stuff on there. Make it more intense at some point. There's what's this? A quinacridone sienna. There you go. There's a name off a tube for you. It'll appease you, hopefully. But just almost be careless with it. Almost careless is the go. Now, stuff that's outside here, like this, I've just got bugger all on the brush, and I've got a bit of lavender here. I always remember lavender is a pretty nice colour just to act as a bit of a foil for warmth. That's good. I like that. It'll just show that there's something outside later on. That's all. All about getting this warm wash down here. And all these priests and people, whoever they are, I don't know, figures. All these figures are just going to become part of the story, but we treat them the same way, just with almost with contempt. Bit of lavender there as well. So I know I've got a really nice reflection, I suppose, coming from the window onto that's reflecting onto the floor here, and we'll have a little bit over this side as well. But now, while there's so much water around, I'm just looking to see what other colours, what other things I can put on here that will end up fading to bugger all, but you know, might just serve to make it a little more adventurous later on. That's cool. And you can see, I love splattering stuff on because, especially at this stage, because it gives you freedom. You open up your noggin, you're just thinking about getting the right stuff on the page. Well, not getting the right stuff on the page, you're just getting something on there that tells a story later on. And, you know, spat it, look at that. And everyone freaks out at this point because they go, oh my God, it's terrible, I've ruined it. They start clutching at their pearls and freaking out. But painting like this, especially in the first stage, just gets you going. It gets you in the mood to paint with freedom and yeah, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to mute the microphone so you don't have to hear this, but here we go. Just dry that off. All right. So you can see how much that's lightened up, even just from that. You know, drying that off lightens up a hell of a lot, and that is good. So, where are we? Just having a bit of a look at something there. There we go. All right, cool. So what I'm doing here, it's not a massive piece. Like, as far as there's not a hell of a lot of details, but what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to grab a slightly bigger brush, or not really bigger, just something with a bit more of a point on it, and I'm going to glaze all of this nice and strong. So this will be pretty dark all up here, but this around these windows is going to be the darkest section on the page for the most part. So I've already got a warm colour underneath, so let's base something around ultramarine and burnt sienna, like a nice sort of cool grey to go over the top. Yeah, too much burnt sienna. That's alright. We'll need all this dark anyway, so nothing's going to go to waste. I just happen to have careless moments sometimes in the palette and pick up too much of one colour. So I'm getting some paint on the page, which is handy considering what we're doing. But I'm just being a little bit careful as we get down to the arches. It doesn't have to be, like, you don't have to be too careful. It's just, you know, good practice. Why not? But notice the brush, and I'm turning the brush around, still letting the brush do the work. I'm not getting in there and doing all this crap. Hold the brush at the end, get a bit of confidence going. That I'll just cut around. Be careful-ish when you have to be. You know, I'm being a lot more careful with this than I was in the first wash, obviously. So there is a time and a place. Don't let your quest of painting quickly turn into a habit of painting carelessly. Still got to know when is best to do what. That's a good rule to live by, really. There's a time and a place. Oh, how philosophical. Shit. All I need is more jewellery and I'll be a true, proper artist. I just don't have enough jewellery. That's my problem. To truly succeed in this art world, I need bangles galore. Not barbecues galore, bangles. I need bangles up the wazoo. Then somebody will take me seriously. There's a lot of wankers out there, isn't there? A lot of wankers. Now, bit of water, bit of spatter, whatever. Doesn't matter. Bit of stuff. Now, I'm going to just bring down some paint here, a little bit. Now, putting a lot of water down, so what I do end up with here will be pretty light. It's not going to blow our heads off, which is always good. There's a most singing bloody Christmas carols. It's a bit scary. I'll do that a bit more considered, I think. I'll be a bit more careful with that. But we're all looking good. I'm just getting all these shapes blocked in. What's that there? Whoop, burnt sienna up the wazoo. That's okay. Bit of purple. Purple or violet is a really nice foil colour to use for a lot of things. It's good. It's a good thing to counterbalance and get some shadowing and stuff. All right, so we're still in that mode of it's a wash, but it's a it's a bigger, darker, stronger wash. And that's all cool. I'm happy with that. I need to dry it off again. And then when I dry it off, I'm actually going to go straight in and do this next real dark behind everything here. I've got to mix up some strange concoction, but we'll get it going. Won't be long. All right, so we need to get some darks going. Some darks. Need to get it cranking. I'm trying to find a brush. That's the one I'm looking for. All right, darks. Now you can save your darks until last and all that kind of stuff. Work light to dark, that's fine. It's a good principle to have, or a good sort of theory to follow. But don't be scared just to get stuck into it. If you know that an area is going to be dark, go for it, because you can use the tones that already exist on your page as a guide, as a reference point, if you like, so you know your tones are on track. You've got to have lots of different tones in your work. Right through from pretty much white paper to the darkest of darks and everything in between. And just test it on the page. So, not bad. I reckon it'll need to be stronger. And I'm just going in there with whatever I can find to make this stronger. I've got a lot of sepia, ultra, I don't know, some weird greeny colour, purple, anything. And it's pretty thick paint. You're probably talking like creamy consistency. Yeah, these little bits, we need to be a bit careful, right? So there's a couple little spots there I've got for candles. Yeah, I'll keep them there. I think they'll be good. But I'm not trying to just colour in. I'm still trying to use the brush effectively. pick up a bit of water here and there and just disperse it around. It's good fun. It's funny, I've been teaching that much lately that even when I paint for myself, I find myself giving myself instructions as I go. So I'm talking to myself and it's a bit disturbing, really. It's quite scary. That's fine. Let's have a look. Slowing down too much, I'm just being a bit fiddly. I shouldn't be. Now, I plan to, this little bit here, this light area, just cleaning the brush off and going into, I don't know, this little orangey colour. And I'm not worried about, I don't want to paint around these figures, or I'll paint those in positively, but I just wanted to get something there bleeding, like there's some sort of light on behind that shape. I don't know, just making it up, really. Making it up. And that's cool because that'll have figures and stuff in there, so even though right now it looks like it's sort of sticking out on its own a bit, don't worry about that. She'll be right, mate. It's nothing to worry about. Okay. Just looked over to make sure I'm filming. That would have been awkward. I will just keep this dude out on his own, I think. Sort of cut around him a bit. Now I've got a song in my head, but I won't sing in case it gets demonetized. But I don't know why I've got it in my head. I hardly ever think about this song, but I remember it from the 80s, and it's got the most amazing guitar solo. It's a song called Little Fighter by a band called White Lion. Go check it out if you're interested in that sort of thing. Vito Bratta was the guitar player. Amazing guitar player. Bit of stuff there. Now we'll get into the weeds over here, so we're just finishing these bits off. Now we'll finesse these. We'll finesse all this stuff to make it look not so neat and tidy. We'll give it some character, but we just need to get these tones in so that we can get the rest of it going. It's good. I don't know why. That was a bit of a dodgy brush stroke there, but that's alright. That's life. Life's full of dodgy brush strokes. Now I go for a different colour over here. Something stupid. Something you may think, what are you doing, you dickhead? I might think the same. Don't know. We'll see. Should be alright. So that little... It's funny because there are little steps and things back there which can work in. That's all fine. Cool. So we're all looking okay there. What I'm going to do though, while I've got pointy brush, I'm just going to whack a few little windows in here. That'll tell us something. Don't be too tidy. It's there. 3, 4. Now, going to spatter a bit of water just to break these edges. See these sort of edges here? Just break them. Don't be so tidy. Looks better. It looks better if it's not so neat and tidy. Trust me. There we go. Cool. Alright, so happy with that. Spatter a bit more for effect here now. Get a bit of stuff that's broken up. That's all cool. Happy, happy, happy. I can keep going. I don't have to dry that off yet. I'll keep going and fill in a couple of these little darker sections. Like we've got this little bench. I'll call it a bench. I don't know. Somebody will correct me, I'm sure. That's okay. Okay, that's cool. Alright, now, got the darks on there. I just want to tidy those spatters up. I forgot that was dry all up there, so it stayed put, which I didn't want. That's okay. All gone now, so that's fine. Dry this off and we'll get some figures and things in. Alright, some figures, important figures in the context of this piece. So we want to convey the solemnity of the scene. So I'm using sort of dark paint here, obviously, as you can see. Oh, that's an unfortunate shape that I've painted there, but that's okay. Now I just want to make it look like he was looking inwards. Which is... yeah, that's cool. Kind of almost looks like he's sitting down on a chair or something. That's cool, that's fine. Now I'm doing equally mysterious silhouettes in the background, which I'll put some highlights on later on. But I'm definitely not trying to be too literal with these figures. Just wanting to have them convey the most basic representation of the group of figures. That's all. I don't want any detail, that's what I'm trying to say. No detail. That's fine. That's a bit funky there. I don't need that bit. That's fine. I don't mind that lost edge there because I'm going to do more stuff in those shadows, obviously. So that's fine. Yeah. Don't know what I've done there. That's okay. Almost looks angelic. So put a little figure over here just to balance that. In fact, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Didn't need it. Don't stack it. Don't stack the sides. All good. Alright, so time to get the flooring in. I want all this to be quite sort of soft and melted into these shapes. Just gonna, I got a tiny bit of water there. Keep going back in, strengthening things up. It's got to be strong. Got to be strong down here, otherwise, because it's got to stand up to the rest of the picture. You see, that's what we're looking for. It's got to we've got to make sure that everything is doing its job. Oops. Too far. That's okay, that'll do. So we're getting there. We're getting there, believe it or not. Stronger, stronger here. Stronger, stronger. Okay. Now, that might be okay. I like this sort of stuff. I like that messiness there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry this off. I'm going to come back, think about bringing it together with little bits of garnish and detail and making it look a little bit more interesting, giving it some life and some movement. But it won't be long. Okay. So there's a few little details. The way, like I always say, the way I approach the end of a painting is pretty much with dark accents, coloured accents, and highlights. That's sort of what I'm looking at here. Now I just want to get a bit of detail on the arches. And I'm just using this dodgy, shitty painter's brush, plumber's brush. So plumbers use these brushes to put the glue on their pipes and things, and they're very, very cheap. They do a good job for things like this where you don't want a whole bunch of regular lines. This is great for irregularity, so it's the antidote to Metamucil, which is good. Right, cool, so that's just a little bit of stuff there. A little bit there. Even going to get water. A few just horizontal marks on the ground area, which hopefully, if I do a few more little ones, hopefully it'll give us a sense of there being an actual floor rather than just this reflection. That's better. That's actually better. A little bit more info. It's good. Okay. Cool. Okay. There's something I'm going to do here that might not be necessary, but I'm just going to give it a shot. It might be alright. I'm using a bit of lavender, which is pretty chalky sort of paint. But I'm just wanting to get some general shape in these columns. Just the roundness, the volume. And it's not quite enough, it's not light enough yet. I'll lighten it up a little bit. Just that kind of thing, it's pretty cool. It's hardly, yeah, I don't know. Didn't really work well like I was hoping, but that's okay. There, excellent. Alright, still on the dark stuff. Put in some candle holders or something, especially up here. These guys are holding some, or there's some kind of thing there, I don't know, bit of stuff. Yeah, cool. That's looking alright. It's messy, but it's alright, you know. It's messy, but it's alright. Bit of colour. Thinking of colour now. Now I've got red gouache here, straight from the tube. I don't care about using red gouache. I think it's cool. Just be careful with it. That's all. Now it's just a way to add a bit of extra drama somewhere. And that's it. Da, 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 da. What else have we got? Bit of blue. I'm just looking for whatever bits of info that I can put here that mean nothing, but just tell the story as far as furnishings and things like that go. Hopefully, you know. You might all think I've stuffed it up royally. I don't care. I don't care if you do. I could not give two shits if you think I stuffed it up, but I could not give two shits. Now, some white highlights. Let's have a look. Now, a couple of things here. These little bitties. Oh, no, not that there. That there. That. I'm going to read as candles at some point. Highlights on the figures. Okay. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry it off and come back and do a couple of little extra little bits to it, and I reckon should be right. Alright. Couple of funny little bits I want to do is just do some lifting, but in a real sort of deliberate kind of way, and I'll show you what I mean as an effect. Now, it's just water on the brush with a clean tissue. Just lifted that out, and I'll do a tiny bit more just near it so it doesn't just look like a weird sort of mistake. And have a look over here, what have we got? We can do a little bit of stuff up here. It's a different angle, which is annoying, so I'll fix this angle. Let's have a look. Whoop. Red paint. That's okay. You get that. Not much you can do when that happens. I think that will stain there. That's not too bad. And I'll just scatter little bits around to lift out so it's not just so isolated. And I want to do one thing here is lift out a bit of light coming through. I don't know, for no reason other than I just felt like I wanted to. That's the only reason you should ever do anything when you paint, is because you want to. You just feel like it. Who cares? Yeah, I reckon that's alright. Let's have a look. Let's take the tape off. We'll have a good look at it. Fun little exercise, painting this one. You've got to treat all your paintings as exercises. All it is practice. Every time you paint, it's practice. Every time. Whether you do really well or you go up to shit, it doesn't matter. It's all practice. And it's all worthy. It's all worthy of its place in our development. You've got to practice. So I hope you enjoyed that. I will put finished picture up here at the end. It's looking a bit wonky there in the camera, on the camera. But yeah, you get the idea. Bit of atmosphere, bit of mood, bit of stuff, texture, looseness. You know, it's good fun. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Cheers, and thank you very, very much. See you soon. All right.